Hey guys, Mr. here again for another video today, and we are back with another Can They Win the Stanley Cup? And in this one, we'll see if a team of brothers in the NHL, or players who have brothers, I should say, can win the Stanley Cup. In this one, we will be getting rid of or removing the Vancouver Canucks to bring in the Vancouver brothers, because, you know, the most notable brothers in the NHL are probably the Sedins, I would say. Yeah, so we're going to go, or that's why I chose to do Vancouver. Now, this team is pretty interesting, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of good players on this team, that's for sure. But the team isn't great in some aspects for the fact that on this team there is only one sniper, and that is if I put him into the lineup or not. If you guys could guess who that sniper is, it is Daniel Sedin. Now, there's a lot of two-way forwards, two-way defensemen, power forwards, and defensive defensemen. So we will see how this goes. It'll be very interesting, that's for sure. Now, I believe everything is good, so let's start this season. This is a pretty interesting one, though, that's for sure. Like I said, there's a lot of power forwards, two-way forwards, two-way defensemen, and defensive defensemen. I don't know why, but for some reason, when brothers are together, they have, there's playmakers as well. There's a few playmakers on the team, so there's playmakers, two-way forwards, and defensive D-man. I don't get it, but two-way power forward, playmaker, defensive defenseman, and two-way defenseman players. So this is not what the team is going to be like. We are not going to have Jimmy Hayes in here, that's for sure. I am going to have to make roster moves. That's great. Okay. So let's make some roster moves then, shall we? We should call up Jordan Staal, Kevin Hayes, Daniel Sedin. I'd like to call up Henrik Sedin too, if I can. We will see if I am able to in the system. No, in the NHL. We will send down Foligno, Ritchie, and Hayes. Alright, there we go. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We will see who will be put into the lineup when I do best lines. Defenseman. I think I do need Jamie Benn. Yeah, I need Jamie. Wait. Actually, no, I don't need Jordy. Not Jamie Benn. Sorry, Jordy Benn. I actually do not need him up here in the NHL. Goalies should be good. We've got Longfist and Subban. There we go. Yeah, so like I said, this is a pretty interesting team, that's for sure. So originally what I tried doing is I tried making a team where we have players that, or we have the pair of brothers on the team together, but it was extremely hard to do so, and I was not able to do it. So I had to get rid of that idea. Now, playmaker, Sam Reinhart, I kind of like to keep there. Kevin Hayes, though, we have enough power forwards. And trust me, we have enough power forwards. We're going to put Michael or Mikael Granlund in there. Jordan Stahl's a better center than Eric Stahl. Let's put Stahl on that second line, though. So we have a playmaker, and a playmaker together. Then this, you know what, we're going to keep Stahl on the fourth line then. Actually, we'll just switch. We'll just keep it like that. So Stahl's on the second line, Sedin's on the third line. Then we've got, okay, so we've got power forward, two-way forward, power forward. I'm going to switch that a little bit. Nope. There's nothing I can do, because either way, one of our top two lines is going to be a power forward, and two-way forward. So, yeah, we're going to go power forward, two-way forward, power forward, combination of Ben, Shen, and Stone. Then we've got Nylander, O'Reilly, and JVR. Then we've got Daniel Sedin, Mikael Granlund, Eric Stahl, then Nick Foligno, Jordan Stahl, and Sam Reinhart. So the brother to Jamie Benn is Jordy Benn, Braden Shen is Luke Shen, Mark Stone is Michael Stone, William Nylander is Alex Nylander, Ryan O'Reilly is Cal O'Reilly, James Van Riemsdyk is Trevor Van Riemsdyk, Daniel Sedin is Henrik Sedin, Michael Granlund is Marcus Granlund, Eric Stahl is Jordan Stahl and Mark Stahl, Nick Foligno is Marcus Foligno, yeah. Jordan Stahl, obviously, Eric Stahl, and Mark Stahl as well. Sam Reinhart is Griffin Reinhart's brother. Dougie Hamilton, well, now looking at our defense, Dougie Hamilton, Freddie Hamilton, PK Subban with Jordan Subban, and Malcolm Subban, Christopher Tanev with Brandon Tanev, Michael Stone with Mark Stone, Mark Stahl with Eric Stahl and Jordan Stahl, and TVR with JVR. In net, we have Henrik Lundqvist, who is brother to Joel Lundqvist, and then Malcolm Subban, who is brothers to PK Subban and Jordan Subban, obviously. So, yeah, like I said, I really did try making everybody tried making a team where all the players could be put in, or all the brothers could be put in together, but it was really hard to. So I just decided to make, wasn't really possible unless I would have had to play a forward on defense or a defense on forward. So I just wasn't going to do that. But yeah, pretty solid team. We're a 94 overall team, 96 offense, 93 defense, 93 goaltending. We'll see how everything goes in this. I don't know. I think it's a pretty decent team, but the lack of snipers we have on this team is kind of scary because we have a lot of playmakers, a lot of two-way forwards, a lot of power forwards, a few defensive D-man, and a decent amount of two-way defensemen. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is the second time I am trying this series, or not trying this series, trying this particular challenge of can they win the Stanley Cup, because I forgot to put in Mark Stahl. Yeah, so I forgot to add in Mark Stahl into the team, so we did a complete sim without Mark Stahl, although, to be fair, it is not much of a difference from the last one. The last record we had was 43, 36, and 9. We weren't even able to make the playoffs, so we will see if we can look to improve that. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I said, guys, this is the second attempt I am doing this, just because I forgot to put in Mark Stahl. I completely forgot about Mark Stahl. I just completely blanked about him when I was making this team. Now, I didn't think putting in Mark Stahl would make such a difference into this team, but apparently it is. We didn't have a record like this at all, not even once in the last sim. I think the biggest win streak we went on in the last sim was like a 6-game win streak, and it brought us to a record of like 29, 21, and 2 or something. But yeah, it just wasn't a good record. Now, looking like we may make the playoffs this time, because we were about to hit 40 wins. Well, there's a chance for us to hit 40 wins before the deadline this time. In the last one, we hit 40 wins in the second last week of the regular season. So I don't know. I feel like we most definitely will be making the playoffs this season, unless we really do just absolutely shit the bed and just get loss after loss after loss after loss, which is definitely a possibility. But then again, who knows? Like I said, anything can happen. So I feel like most definitely this team will be better than the last one. Like I said, this is the exact same lines that I did as well, except in the last one I had Daniel Sedin on the fourth line, Eric Stahl on the second line. This time I have Daniel Sedin and Eric Stahl on the second line, and Sam Reinhart is now on the fourth line. Did I say second line? I meant third line. But yeah, I don't know. I guess making those little changes apparently gets us to do much better in the season. So we're looking like we're on pace to hit 50 wins. We're definitely going to hit 50 wins. There it is, 50th win of the season against the Chicago Blackhawks. So like I said, I really didn't think putting in Mark Stahl would really make that much of a difference. So we have a final record of 53, 24, and 5. That is most definitely a playoff spot. That is probably first in the league as well, if you ask me. I would expect that is first in the league. That is first in the Western Conference. We did clinch the Western Conference. We now have a 97 overall offensive rating as well. Who grew? Did Shen grow? No, I don't think so. William Nylander did. And I think that's it. And Sam Reinhart. So that one overall growth from Reinhart and Nylander made the difference defensively. Dougie Hamilton is now our best defenseman as well. How our defensive rating didn't go up at all, I do not know. Malcolm Subban, he did not grow. Interesting. Now, all right, so 111 points. Let's go and check out the stats to see where we landed in this sim. So in the entire league, we finished second behind the Washington Capitals. So that's interesting. That is the second placing that we have had in this, or no, sorry, the third second placing we've had in the series. We've done that with the undrafted team and the orange jersey wearing players team. Still a really weird name. I still don't even know really what to use for that name, but whatever. Alright, well, let's get into the playoffs. We'll look at the other stats after this. I'm not too worried about it as of right now. Let's go and see how good, or see how we do in the playoffs. In the first round, we will be facing the Minnesota Wild. Pretty sure we did that last time with the shorties or orange jersey wearing players, and we lost to them in like 6 games. I think that was I think that was to the shorties. So far we're doing pretty good. 2-0 series lead. 3-0 series lead in the first round. We could sweep, and we do sweep the Minnesota Wild in the first round. So that's not bad. That's for sure. That's much better than what we have been doing in the majority of these series. Most of the series we've been getting eliminated in round 1. So we actually now get to go up against the Edmonton Oilers, who swept in the first round. So which team will get their first loss in the playoffs? It will be the Edmonton Oilers. So we get a 1-0 series lead. We get a 2-0 series lead. We get a 2-1 series lead. Now Edmonton hands us our first loss, and it took 7 games to give us our first loss. Edmonton now has some momentum, but we win game number 3 or game number 4 as well. We have a 3-1 series lead. We lose game number 5. Game number 6 now we win. So we head on to the Western Conference Finals to face the St. Louis Blues. They have an 8-4 record. We have an 8-2 record. So we're looking pretty solid right now. First game of the Western Conference Finals, we win 5-0. Game number 2, we lose, so they tied up the series quickly. Very good for them. We win the third game in the series. We win the 4th game in the series. We have a chance to move on to the finals. We do not. St. Louis is still alive. 2 more chances to beat them, and we move on to the Stanley Cup Final. Very interesting. This is not the team I would have expected to move on to the Stanley Cup Final. So, game number 1. Let's see. I don't remember how I do this. So the only time we've made it to the Stanley Cup Final was with my Hut team, and that I did that like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I do not remember how I did that. You know what, we're just going to go game by game. Game number 1, we lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and one thing I just realized, the Penguins have now made it to the Stanley Cup Final 3 years in a row. We lose game number 2 to Pittsburgh. Game number 3, we win. All right, so we still got some life in us. Game number 4 now, we lose, and we are on the brink of elimination. So we will sim game number 5 now to see if we are able to redeem ourselves and force a game 5. First period, okay, Brian Rust, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and Brian Rust all score in the first period. We now have Malcolm Subban in net. Second period is 5-0, and we will most definitely be losing in the Stanley Cup Final. 7-0 win for the 3-peat. I'm not even going to check the 3 stars. Well, Brian Rust did have a hat trick, if I'm not mistaken. So, another failed attempt to win the Stanley Cup. We are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are 9 episodes into this series. We have only won it with 1 team, and it was our very first team. So, yeah, the Stanley Cup champions for the 3-peat is the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's kind of depressing. I would have much rather lose to any other team, not Pittsburgh. So, yeah, there it is. Pittsburgh with the 3-peat, President's Trophy to Washington again. I'm telling you, man, it's the Washington Capitals President's Trophy curse. When they win the President's Trophy, the Penguins win the Stanley Cup. For some reason, we made it to the Stanley Cup Final against the Penguins as well, obviously. Player awards, Art Ross goes to Kucherov. Hart also goes to Kucherov. Norris goes to PK. Not our PK, though. It goes to the real PK, I guess I should say. Lady Bing to Nikita Kucherov. Tarasenko wins the Calder. It's because I have him edited. That's the reason why. I have to say it every time. Conn Smythe goes to Matt Murray. Probably deservedly, like last year and the year before, really. Well, the year before, the first time they won the Cup, I was thinking Kessel should have got it. Second year they won it, I was thinking Malkin should have got it. But okay, whatever. Crosby's the better one, you know. Vezina goes to Holtby. Jennings also goes to Holtby. He wins it, I think, for the second time in his career and second year in a row. Mark Mathot with the Bill Masterton. Selke goes to Jordan Staal. Not our Staal. Kucherov with the Ted Lindsay. And Ovechkin with the Maurice Richard. Interesting. Let's go check out stats on our team. Most points to our team was 69 for Jamie Benn. Mark Stone had 66. Braden Shen had 64. So that top line really wasn't that bad. William Nylander with 60. O'Reilly with 51. 50 for Eric Staal. Dougie Hamilton with 47. PK Subban with 47 as well. Most goals goes to Mark Stone with 27. We had 5 20-plus goal scorers. Interesting. Daniel Sedin did really good, actually, playing on that third line. Most assists goes to Braden Shen with 44. Best plus-minus goes to Dougie Hamilton and PK Subban with a plus 38 and plus 37. That was a really good top two. Dougie Hamilton had 2 penalty minutes on the entire year. What the hell? He had less penalty minutes than O'Reilly. O'Reilly, with 95 discipline, had 46 penalty minutes. Gotta love this game. If you look at it, Ryan O'Reilly has 95. Yeah, it was 95, right? 95 discipline, yeah, and he got 46 penalty minutes. Then you look at Dougie Hamilton, who had the least penalty minutes on our team with 82 discipline. Makes sense, right? Let's go check out the entire league. Most points goes to Kucherov with 96. Very good. He had a 45 goal season. I hope he gets more points than that this season. I also hope he has the most goals in the league. 56, though, for Ovi. Tarasenko with 47, McDavid with 46, Kucherov with 45, Tavares with 42, and Malkin with 41. So lots of goals to be held around by everyone. Nicholas Backstrom with 67 assists. That is really good, too, for him. The only 90-point getters were Kucherov and Ovechkin as well. Best plus-minus goes to Braden Shen, but not our Braden Shen. It goes to the Braden Shen that is on St. Louis. Let's see, defenseman now. Who won the Norris? Who was the Norris winner? It was Subban. Yeah, it's because he had the highest plus minus out of the 3. They were all pretty close in points, like 63. He was literally tied for Keith. They had the same amount of goals, same amount of assists, but yeah, Tyson Barrie had 62 assists in that season. Very, very interesting. Where's Erik Karlsson? He's down here with 58 points. He's not even really on pace to get 58 points this season in the NHL, so we'll see how that goes. Best plus-minus did go to Roman Josi, though. Well, Josi and Hamilton, so interesting. And our Subban and the real Subban, so interesting. Best goalie in the league, obviously, it was Holtby. He had 45 wins with a .929 save percentage and a .214 GAA. That is really good, I'm not going to lie. Checking out the playoff tree, let's see. Yeah, so we swept in the first round. We won in 6 games. In the second round, won in 6 games in the conference finals, and then lost in 5 to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got over Columbus in 5 once again. Wow, it's almost like it's the exact same thing that happened. Caps swept, well, it's not the exact same thing. Caps swept the Maple Leafs in the first round, so it's basically the first round last year again, and then Columbus and Pittsburgh first round again. Interesting. And then they both meet each other in the conference finals once again. But again, Crosby gets the advantage over Ovechkin, and a sleeper pick to make it to the playoffs. Florida Panthers made it to the Western Conference Finals. It took Pittsburgh to a 7-game series. Very interesting there. That's surprising, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, then you guys know who won the Stanley Cup. So that is going to be it from me, guys. Hopefully you all did enjoy yet another failed attempt at trying to win a Stanley Cup with these teams, but it's okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you all did enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.